Damn, Q. Baby, you did that.
Welcome to the Oh Yeah podcast with your boy, Mr. Oh Yeah, Detroit's #1 ambassador. Appreciate you joining us for another episode of Real Stories from Real People. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. What's up, good people, and welcome to another episode of the Oh Yeah podcast with your boy, Mr. Oh Yeah, Detroit's #1 ambassador. And as always, we're coming back to you from our home, Floods Bar and Grill. Please make sure you come check us out every Wednesday for All Industry Connect Wednesday Night Live. And it feels good to be back home for this interview because boy, do we have a treat. We got somebody here that's been under the radar for so long to some, but right in front of your face to others. And to really get a good feel to who I'm talking about, man, I had to call all around the city of Detroit because they had nothing but good things to say about this young lady. We got today brand management, event production, or curation, I should say, PR specialist, Miss Chauntel Nelson. How you doing today?
Hi, thank you for the warm introduction.
Man.
That felt amazing to hear. Thank you so much.
You don't understand. It's amazing to have you here. How's things been going?
They're going. I'm hanging in there. Like everybody else.
Like everybody else.
Yep.
That's what's up. Well, it's an honor to have you here on the Oh Yeah podcast, where our commitment is to document your affairs. And I don't feel that we could have even talked about hip hop in the city of Detroit, talked about things that be moving and shaking around the city of Detroit without having somebody like you on this platform. And boy, we got a lot to talk about today, man. You've been working hard for over 20 years around here, huh?
For 20 years, over 20 years, you're right.
And you're still smiling.
Thanks for letting everybody know that I'm not a spring chicken. Thank you.
No, man.
I'm kidding. But yeah, it's been an honor and a pleasure to be allowed the opportunity to work in this industry for 20 years.
Yeah.
So, absolutely.
Yeah. And I feel like it's probably good that we start off right there. It's not easy to be in this industry, right? PR, management.
So-called alleged industry.
Alleged industry, right? Please. We got a little help here for you as well.
Thank you, Karen. Yeah. Appreciate all of that. Thank you. I am a little parched.
Hey, no problem with that, man. We get nothing but help around here. But please, if we can start right there. This industry and what we're talking about is music, entertainment, right?
Yep.
Here in the city of Detroit.
Absolutely.
Tell me why it's so hard.
So I can talk about the scope of like Detroit's capacity in terms of where, people usually go.
Yeah.
How they usually start their careers. Like, it's so many different layers and like so many different lanes in which you can like develop your own niche.
Okay.
So for me, when you talk about like Detroit industry, like I'm just thinking of entertainment as a whole rather than like specifically music.
Okay.
Just because I've been able to branch out and kind of do more things, like more so along the lines of media rather than just music. But this industry is a tricky one, isn't it? It's pretty tricky, especially being able to know to identify like what you're an expert at and what it is that you bring to the table and why people should pay you for your skill set.
And that's the most, I don't want to say most important
part,
but that's very vital, right?
It's important.
Come on. The bag is important.
Absolutely.
Well, I did mess up on that intro, so I want to make sure I cover this for sure.
Okay.
CEO of the Clever Curation Group, right?
CEO and owner.
Come on now.
Of the Clever Curation Group.
Can you please introduce us to that?
So that is a business that it basically came from Angela Yee sitting me down and kind of like helping me to really like prioritize like what my skills were. So she hired me for a job to produce a documentary film.
Okay.
Back in 2019. COVID happened, so unfortunately we had to kind of suspend our production and that. And but it was just an eye opener in terms of like, wow, you spent many years. Like I've worked for Def Jam, I've worked for Sony BMG, iHeartMedia. Like it's been a journey in terms of like the experience that I've had in so many different departments. You know what I mean? And so creating the Clever Curation Group was really, it was kind of like a project that turned into a real business that is a complete passion that does not feel like work for me.
Doesn't feel like work.
I didn't know how to characterize it, how to identify it like at first, but once I sat down and kind of saw like, okay, these are the 3 levels of service that you are an expert in. And I'm not talking about just dabble a little bit. Like I've worked in this industry long enough to consider myself an expert in those particular areas. And so it's been rewarding and challenging at the same time. So my first event that kind of put me back on the map was doing logistics for Sunday service, Kanye West Sunday service.
Hold on. We're going to get to all that now. Hold on.
Okay.
Obviously, you've done this a time or two before.
I'm sorry,
but wait a minute now.
Okay.
Hold on
sorry,
now.
guys. Sorry, my bad.
I want to make sure that we truly identify Clever Curation Group.
Right? So it's the Clever Curation Group. I love fucking people up with the name. And if you notice, so my business started officially, like I said, I've been doing this for about 20 years. But my business officially didn't start until about 3 years ago. And so I like to say that I put the stamp on the word curation in this city, especially in the lane for what we do. Wasn't nobody curate nothing until I popped out. I'm just saying.
And listen, until Mrs. Chauntel Nelson put the stamp on it.
Period.
Give them those 3 elements again of what we do
here.
The
3 levels of service. And that is, I'm so happy you said that. Like, I've gotten over the years so many times of like, oh yeah, you know, oh girl, you know, with the music stuff. We don't really be knowing what she doing. So in case you didn't know.
Come on.
Okay? We specialize in 3 levels of service. That's PR. That's brand management. And that's event production. If you need help understanding what those levels of service mean, feel free to go on my website, www.clevercurationgroup.com, and you can click on each and every single service that we offer to really get a full scope of exactly what it is that I do and how I may be able to help enhance your business.
Enhance your business. And this is what I want to make sure we truly outline this, because I always say on the Oh Yeah podcast, people kind of look at social media and they just swear this stuff is easy, but you putting in work. You know, so let's get into these projects that the Clever Curation Group has been a part of or led the charge on, right? You started off with Kanye West Sunday morning service, right?
Right. So that was like my first like introduction, kind of like back in the game, because everyone had known me for being. Shout out to Drew Rives, like a mentor, a friend, a best friend, a person that has been like super instrumental in my development in this industry. Kind of took me under his wing and showed me like everything as it relates to record labels and just how to navigate through this space. And so with that, it's been just, it has been overwhelming. You know what I mean? Like to even be able to speak about it all. Like honestly, when you called me to do this podcast, it was almost like a imposter syndrome type vibe. Like, damn, they want to talk to me about like what I've been doing. So
these stories got to be told. Man. Come on now.
And so it was just a full circle moment to be able to like be
shout
here.
out to Drew as well. Drew Rives, alumni of the Oh Yeah podcast.
An absolute legend in this industry, in this city. Like you talk about people that have brought actual artists to the city. Like I know a lot of people that have been interns. There's a lot of people that have volunteered, but there's very few of us that have actually worked at these labels.
Come on now.
We got W-2s.
You got W-2.
I'm just saying.
Over 30 years, by the way, with Def Jam.
Point blank in the period. And so when they put me on and showed me how to actually work there, like getting W-2s from Sony BMG,
We're going to get to it. Trust me.
Doing those things.
Yeah.
That's what kind of like let me know. So, but just bringing it back around, that Sunday service was kind of like my first thing to kind of like get back in the game, because it had been a while since I worked for Sony and iHeart. And yeah, it was, I knew that Drew and I had that synergy where we could always come back and work together. Like, no, we're literally like Fat Joe and Remy Ma. Like that's that level. That's the level of like, that's my brother. You know what I'm saying? And so like that event, I don't know if he knows this or not, he'll know now, was really like one of the things besides that Angela Yee documentary that put me back in the level of like, okay, this is what we doing. Like I almost wanted to give up on my business. So
we definitely need to get into that. I wasn't ready for that.
I was ready to give up. Like, this is bullshit.
Kanye West was the intro back into the game, so to speak, for you.
And who gets to? And so the funny thing, let me tell you, let me go deeper. Let me tell you how it was another full circle moment was that. So that event, while I'm handling like all of the front of the house logistics, we had maybe like 3 different radio partners that were involved in the event. I don't know if you remember, but the line was like completely down, like wrapped around Jefferson type. Like you had crazy, people from all walks, white folks, black folks, everywhere. Like you had the iHeart stations, you had JLB, and you had Channel 955 there. Wow. You had Hot 107. So here I am managing all of these, radio partners, making sure that all of our VIP guests are seated in the proper areas. Just making sure that everything is running smoothly. And up walks a gentleman to me while I'm in the midst of like all of these logistics. It's the man that fired me at iHeart, asking me if I had any extra tickets to the Sunday service.
Full circle moment.
And that put me back on the map. And you know what I did? I gave him the tickets.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Man. Yeah.
Sure, absolutely.
Yep, here you go. Remember me?
Yeah. Because you don't remember.
Yeah. And it was at Aretha Franklin, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you don't remember. So that very day was a day like, nah, keep going.
Yeah.
Because you finna go up.
You gonna go up.
That was the catalyst.
Okay.
That got me started, like really like got that extra fire under my behind.
Well then let's talk about 218 Jordan, right?
Yep.
Come on.
This is insane. Like, it doesn't even seem like I guess working on these projects really meant something, huh?
Yes.
We
telling this story today.
I didn't know.
Come on.
So, shout out to Roast Bit. Shout out to Mario Butterfield, like the Mario Butterfield, period. Okay. So my Roast Bit relationship came from Drew too.
Okay.
Back in the day, when Drew had Coin Handlers Management, he was doing.
We're very familiar with Coin Handlers.
He was him and Laurent. Shout out to the homie Laurent.
Yeah.
I want to say Roast Bit was one of their artists or something like that. I don't know what the connection was really, but I met him then back when I was working at Clear Channel. It's iHeart now, but it was Clear Channel then, and so yeah, we always knew each other like in the industry or whatnot, and I had a guy that did like all of my graphics for my website and like all of my branding for because I'm not a illustrator or Photoshop person. Like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. That's not you. Yeah, like I hire people for that.
Okay.
Like, I got a whole team for that.
Yeah.
And so I got connected with the Mario Butterfield, who is like a legend at that in this city, like in this industry as a whole. Yeah. From 8 Mile to like all of the signage for that, like hip hop shop days, like Proof, everybody, like they have just such a rich history of like hip hop in this community. And so when he started to do my graphics, turns out they were like best friends damn near, and they actually had a collab going where they designed a Jordan shoe, which is absolutely monumental for two guys from
Detroit, baby.
Detroit or Metro Detroit. You know what I mean? Like, come on. Niggas ain't designing no Jordan, bro.
Come on now.
Like, point blank at the period. And so by me doing like, so one thing I do say that sets me apart from like other PR girls in this industry, like I don't have any TV relationships. I can't help you with the TV people.
Okay. Radio,
I don't know not one soul.
Yeah.
All right, period. And I ain't got a problem with telling you.
Okay.
Because I'm never going to overpromise and underdeliver. But
Yeah.
that radio, baby,
can go.
That radio could go. Like
Yeah.
all of our digital platforms, our Sirius XMs and our different radio platforms, we can go.
Come
period.
on, talk that.
So with that being said, I just, developed like a piece of their marketing strategy to roll out the Jordan shoe. I did the opening, or I won't take full accountability because Ro knows, but there were several different PR aspects of the rollout of even the opening of 218 as a whole. So yeah, that account has been like a labor. It wasn't even a labor. It was a super easy peasy work to do for some guys that I know that are amazing, talented artists in this industry, in this culture, that deserve to be highlighted. So it was a pleasure for me to be able to help to shine a light on what they've done, because that's fire, and ain't nobody did it like that.
Ain't nobody did it. Let's go back to what you're saying. Don't even feel like work. You just...
No, I just want to help.
Right.
Like, it was cool for me to do that. And like, oh, you get to get paid too? Wow. Yeah. Like, for real? I get to get actual money? Like, thank you. I've been waiting for this forever. Yeah, facts.
Well, I'm going to let you know, we're going to go through these projects, but those two right there are really high on the list right there, right? But I
don't even look at it like that. I look at it as like just passionate projects that I really care about, no matter what it is. Like, as long as I have like some sort of a connection to it, like to me, it's just as big as like whatever. Like, it's the biggest shit I ever had. To me, I don't care what it is. It could be grandma's retirement event, but I put my heart and soul into grandma's retirement event.
Why would
you know what I mean?
It's
so
grandma.
It matters, period.
Come on, and she cook good greens too, please.
Yep.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get the greens after this, y'all.
Okay. We have floods, baby. Another Detroit superstar at this point in time that you've also had some history with, is to my understanding, Cash Doll, and helping out with some of her projects and rollouts as well.
Okay, so that was a manifestation of the Angela Yee project. So my only dealings with Cash Doll had been us really like getting in depth with her like personal everyday life, to try and film this documentary, just to really like highlight women in hip hop in this city. And I hope that we do get a chance to resume that and complete that. It was never meant to be like a quick documentary. It's always meant to be like a Hoop Dreams type vibes, where you could follow that for 5, 6, 7 years or so. So I really, we have that footage and want to be able to kind of continue on that. She's developed so much as an artist and an actress now, and a mother now. So I would love to be able to kind of like reprise that that documentary and get that going again. But yeah, those, working on like helping the logistics with management with Angela Yee and things that I've done. And even when she was dropping her projects and things like that, like Angela hosted a lot of those events and things like that. So yeah, there was some logistic work done in there with Cash Doll and her team, and they were, great. And it was just amazing to be a part, to see her kind of like shoot up to the stardom hierarchy.
Yeah, people know her for sure, right?
Yeah, they know her.
I like the way you're talking about it though, because you say curation, putting that stamp on it. It's like that behind the scenes of really understanding from beginning to end and a vision, man. Like I'm sitting here looking at you and I see it. Like
I'm glad you mentioned that, because some people don't know what curation even is. Like you can hire like an event planner or somebody to like put your shit together, but when people want you to curate their events, that means like they're looking for a little bit more, a higher level, to where they're looking for more, like they want you to provide the vibes for their event. Not only do you actually coordinate like everything that's going on logistically, but who are you able to bring in the door for a said event? That's the reason why they went to you or to me, for example. Like they're not gonna, you could hire 1 million event planners, but did they bring the vibes?
Right. It's something different.
And it matters. Like that creativity, like, is top tier. So it's not able to be like duplicated.
My mother used to tell me all the time, there's a difference between a woman and a lady.
Okay. What did she say the difference was? Please let me know.
A lady, she brings something else to the table.
Okay, then.
Every girl grows up to be a woman, but it takes a little difference for a woman to be a lady. And I think that's what you're talking about right now when it comes to curation. Like, your presence is felt when you come in the room and really being able to put things together, right?
I hope so. Yep.
Oh, no, you doing it. Trust me, the research is good. D-Dot?
D-Dot, yep.
Tell us. Come on, man. I gotta know.
First of all, you kind of like are shocking me by having like all of this research that is just so.
Podcast.
It's hard to hear. When people talk about you, like you don't get to talk about you often. You know what I mean? We just go so much, and you look around and you see like, oh, this person is doing this on the ground. Damn, I got to do this X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
And then you start thinking like, damn, I ain't shit. No. Because you're looking at, said person doing this, and when you're even saying these things, it's like,
you working.
Wow, I really did that. So D-Dot was a manifestation. I wanted to be able to start to, move into more corporate clients. Like one day, my goal with the whole event production is I want to work on I want to be the marketing company that's hired to do BT Award activations or the Grammys, things like that. That's what I want to do. You know what I'm saying?
What you gonna do?
Yeah. Well, that's what we're working towards. And so the D-Dot just allowed me to be able to curate a series of pop-ups to help them to distribute information about like the newly reimagined like transportation plan for the city of Detroit.
That's right.
Reimagine
really like campaign. That's right.
It was like my first corporate client on retainer. Yeah.
On retainer. Come on now. You can't talk about it ain't gonna happen when it's happening.
Yeah, and it was a dream come true to be able to work there, and it just to have that as a client, for them to have seeked me out. Look, I be getting emotional. Ooh.
Come on.
To have them as a client, it really gave me like the stamp of approval, that validation that I needed, that I was always looking for. So, yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with getting a little pat on the back.
I mean,
you know what I mean? An acknowledgement.
Yeah, it's just been a dream come true.
We're gonna talk about some of those acknowledgments as well. We ain't got there yet though, okay? But I want to make sure I get through all of these things because I feel like it's important that we highlight the projects. We're setting the table here because there was also community involvement. You've been working with Mary Sheffield and Jeezy and back to school drives. What you giggling for? Like, this is real, right?
It really is real. Wow.
Come on, talk to us. This story gonna get told today. Document your affairs.
Yeah, so I will say how important it is to build relationships, to treat people honestly, to follow through on your word and what the fuck you said you was gonna do.
Come on, say that again.
Okay? I don't give a damn what business you are in. I don't give a damn how popular you are. If you don't follow through on what the fuck, I said it just like that, what the fuck you said you was finna do.
Yeah. What
then
do you do?
Why are you here?
Why are you even here?
It's like it's really unprofessional.
Yeah.
So I say all that to say, like, the relationships that I've built and to have been able to actually execute something from beginning to end. Yeah. I didn't just leave it. I didn't drop the ball. There was no I thought, no gray areas. It was very clear, very concise, like the work that I've done.
Direct.
It allowed me to be able to work with Mary or work with other city dignitaries. Like, that level of pressure is a lot to make sure that you can execute everything that you pitched. Yeah. When you said, hey, company, or hey, whoever, you can, I want you to choose me as the person to curate your activation. So, doing that, and obviously the Def Jam relationship helped very much with the Jeezy aspect. So it was an honor and a pleasure to be able to be selected as one of the PR reps and a piece of that marketing team to kind of get that together, because it was just a drive to give back. Like, and who wouldn't want to give back? Like, I love giving back. Philanthropy is a huge piece of where I want my business to grow in that area as well.
That's what's up. Yep. I'm glad you said that, and I think it's good that based on who you are and what you represent, that's a key part to what you're looking to do. We got to take a little break here.
Okay.
But when we come back, I want to get into some more of the projects, as you already mentioned, Angela Yee.
Got it.
And talk about some of these recognitions, all right?
Okay.
So we'll be back.
All right.
Here we got Chauntel Nelson, Detroit native, here on the Oh Yeah podcast. boy, Mr. Oh Yeah, coming to y'all. Just want to remind y'all about Monday nights at Good Vibes. Do Say Mondays. Come check us out each and every Monday. Either the band or one of the guest DJs coming to check y'all out, man. Please come have some fun with us. Grown folks and enjoying yourself. Come there early, 6 to 12. Come check your boy out, Mr. Oh Yeah. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Welcome back to another episode of the Oh Yeah Podcast. And we are back with Mrs. Chauntel Nelson, CEO of the Clever Curation Group. And boy, we were just going through these lists of projects and we had to take a break. Girl be working.
Oh my goodness.
Girl be working. And we ain't even done because as I was doing my research, I became more intrigued. I felt like I was a kid wanting to find out so much more based on this work, you know. But before we get to the start of all this, tell me about the connection, Donnell Rawlings too. Is that right? Come on.
I gotta laugh when we think about Ashley Larry.
That's right.
Ashley,
Comedian,
that's my
right?
dog. Yeah, Donnell. So I met him through Ange. Believe it or not, a lot of these people I have met through Angela, I'm not that cool. Okay.
No.
A lot of these people I met through Angela Yee, but they're genuine connections that have helped me in business as well. Yeah. Donnell being one of them really helped me to secure like an event that we did with the Dave Chappelle team. And so that was, you know, again,
I'm sure an experience.
Listen, the relationships that, like I said, the relationships that you build really help you in business if you treat people right.
That's right. My tagline is relationships are everything.
And they are.
Yeah.
To be honest, so we took a trip, and me, some of her friends, it was her birthday. Dave Chappelle was doing like a event for her. And I don't know if are you a Dave Chappelle fan?
Yes.
Like, are you familiar with his Yellow Springs?
Yes. In Ohio, right?
Yeah, the Yellow Springs camp.
Yeah.
The summer camp they be doing. Yeah. It was like that.
Wait,
so you got Donnell Rawlings. Yeah, he has lots of different. Yeah. Right? So they do that midnight special, I believe is what it's called, their podcast. Talib Kweli. Yeah. And so to be in the presence of those guys and to really, that weekend was the weekend that I sat amongst a dynamic group of women besides Angela Yee. It was Natina from VP of Def Jam. It was Tasha, VP at BET. It was Janae Bolden, one of the creators of Bossip.com. Like, they all sat me down there. And when I tell you, these ladies poured into me like, hey, we want you to win and we want you to succeed. I don't know what's been going on in Detroit, but we got you from here on out.
We got you.
Come on over here because we finna show you how to do this. And it was really like those ideas that weekend. Yeah. We had an excellent time hanging and kicking it with the Chappelle crew, and Dave was amazing, like amazing host. Angela's birthday was amazing. But yeah, that weekend taught me a lot more than just kicking it. Like, that was a weekend of manifestation and realization to know, like, I am somebody and I can do this.
I'm supposed to be here.
As a business, Yep.
It's got to feel good though, right?
It did. I didn't even know how to express like how that felt, but it was one of the best feelings ever. And to know, and even then, now they see me like, wow, we helped you start your business that day. Or gave you at least some tips, because ain't nobody too old to learn shit.
That's right.
Like, I don't give a fuck who you is. Like,
come on now.
You have to learn from the people that you're around, because if you don't, why else would I be? You mean to tell me would I be just sitting here in a room full of dynamic women that are performing at a high level, executive leadership in their roles, that I'm not going to speak with them and really connect with them? And that was one of the most amazing sets of relationships that I was able to make, and it really helped me to develop my own business.
I love that I'm getting your passion right now, and it's coming out in so many different ways. I mean, you get serious, your eyebrows raise up and everything.
That's funny.
That's what's up, man. I'm with you. Come on, we here.
Well, because I am serious about it, and I am intense about my business. I'm emphatic when I speak about it.
And you should be. Mm-hmm. And obviously, Miss Angela Yee noticed that, right? That some of the projects you've been able to work with her on, man. So much so that not only her pouring into you, but I even heard on the show where she's shouting you out and all that other stuff, right?
Yeah, you know what? That's one of those relationships that started out as a working relationship, became friends, became family. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it's rare that you meet genuine people, especially in this space. Like, it's hard for women. I don't know about. They be acting funny, okay? Period. Okay. Like, and she's never acted funny, not one day in her entire life. And none of the people that she's ever had me around have acted funny.
Wow.
And there really is a difference between like a true women empowerment group versus motherfuckers that's trying to look cute at the fucking brunch. Okay.
It's a big difference.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck what you had on, the purse, the Chanel you had that day. I don't give a damn. None of that shit. Did you pour into me?
Yeah.
Did you teach me something? Was I able to learn anything from this circle?
Yeah.
And so those are the fundamental skills that you can't pay. You can't buy that.
You can't buy that, right?
And you can't get that unless somebody has a genuine interest in wanting you to win.
Yeah.
And how do they do that? By the relationships that you've built and how you treat people.
That's what's up.
And your follow through.
That's
you actually did what the fuck you said you was going to do.
Don't be out here if you ain't going to follow up on what you said you was going to do.
Absolutely.
And I'm glad you're speaking to that, because before we take this turn, I think it's very important that we stop right there. And let's just be real. Black woman in this industry that has been male dominated for a long time.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
A long time. And I mean, you tell me, you know, I would assume still male dominated, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So to have, you know, as you say, that group of like minds, black women who are willing to pour into you, that's got to mean a lot, right?
It meant the world.
Yeah, that's what's up.
The world.
That's what's up. I hope there are better days to come.
Oh, absolutely, man. We done turned up. It's so many positive things out here. Like, it's so many things that's about to happen that's like amazing. Like, the days are just going to get better and better and better.
I believe you. Shit, the way you smiling, I believe you.
It's true. I have things on the floor. Yeah. I'm ready to be ripped out the plastic too.
Oh, boy.
Like, I'm ready.
Come on now.
But it's things that are cooking and brewing, and I'm excited about them.
Yeah.
And I would do this shit until I was 99
Flat out.
free.
Okay.
If I had to, because I love it that much.
Well, I think I'm glad you said that. That was a great segue, because I wanted to make sure people kind of got an idea of what I saw. When people were telling me about who you were,
people,
right?
Wow. Whoa.
And who you need to have on here, right? And you go and do your research, and I tell folks all the time, kids or young folks, or even people our age, they get to see that highlight reel on social media now.
Oh, yeah.
And they swear it was just, easy.
No, I've been doing this for 20 years, and you know how many doors closed? I ain't never got hired by BT yet.
Come on.
Okay.
Hey.
But I am going to.
Bingo.
And who finna check me? Not a soul.
Listen,
okay?
Look at that camera again.
The point is, who's gonna check me? Nobody. No, but I say that to say, you know, it's important. It's gonna be so many doors to close, like before,
Well, it's okay. We talked about the highlight. We talked about some of those portions, but I want to go back now.
Okay.
I want to go back to the start.
Okay.
Where this all began. Because word is, you know, it wasn't nursing. It wasn't going to be no medical field. It wasn't going to be no attorney.
My mom and them knew. She was like,
knew,
she for the streets. They already knew she wasn't going.
And it took me back to...
I'm playing, Mama. I am playing for real. Okay.
It's like, what's his name? Is it Tay Diggs and the movie where they was in love with hip hop? They said
I don't even trust. And my man can't have no female best friend either.
Oh,
no,
man.
Ain't none of that shit. No, best friend. No, that's not.
But 16,
Brown Sugar is the
Brown
name of the
Sugar
movie.
is the name of that movie.
Just saying, ain't no best friend.
When you fell in love with hip hop, say you walked into the radio station, right, and just said, "I want to work." Is that not correct? Is that not how this story goes?
Okay, so kinda, yes.
Okay.
So this is what happened. I'm not finna be fake. You ready?
I feel like you're about to break dance on us.
You ready?
Go ahead.
Okay. Okay, so I knew that there was such thing. I had just learned what an internship was. I was in high school. I was in like the 11th grade.
Yeah.
Okay, and I found out what an internship was, but I didn't know you had to be like in college in order to do it.
Yeah.
Like, I just thought
Boom. Why not?
You can just volunteer. Like,
come on.
So I went up to 105.9 Jams. Y'all remember that on the Boulevard? Like,
come on.
Back when Spud had first became a radio DJ.
Yeah.
I went up there and I was like, yeah, I want to volunteer, but they didn't know that I wasn't in college, like until like the second week or something.
You were there 2 weeks already.
Yeah, I was just in high school. I was getting dropped off. I was catching the bus up there to the Boulevard.
Yeah.
And my mama let me. Like, she was letting me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they found out like, oh, you need to be in school to be able to do this. And they just I was like one of the first like groups of high school interns that they allowed. And my very first day of work was Summer Jam. Like, who gets an internship at the radio station and their first day is Summer Jam?
Summer Jam, Detroit, come on.
So this particular Summer Jams, it was so long ago. I want to say it was like 01 or something like that, 2000. No, yeah, it would have been around like 2000. It was the whole Rockefeller except Jay-Z.
Oh.
So it was everybody except Michael Jackson. No, I'm playing. It was, so you had Beanie Siegel, you had Memphis Bleak, Freeway, Chris and Neat, like all of the just everybody on Rockefeller except Jay-Z. Yeah. So funny story.
I'm ready. Come on.
So I'm working at the radio station my first day, right? I done met Drew this day. Like, and I'm like, oh damn, because he done brought all these artists in because they're Def Jam artists on Rockefeller.
That's right.
So I'm like, shit, I'm about to jump ship at this point. Like, what I gotta do to work there, like at the record labels. Like, I didn't even know that. Most people didn't even know you could get jobs at record labels. Like, it always seemed unattainable. Like, for someone that lived in, if you didn't live in New York,
right, you didn't know,
or like you didn't know, but it was people that cracked the code. That knew you could work there. And I'm like, shit, I'm finna crack the code. Cause you can work there, cause I see this nigga work there right now.
Right,
like,
right now.
What I gotta do? And so that's when I was like, I'm finna be your assistant. Period. Boom. Like, it wasn't even no interview, no none of that shit. It was basically like,
now I got it.
Yeah, I'm finna come on in, I'm on the team. And I made you fly, like, stop. Like,
now I got a couple of stories about you and Drew, but we ain't gonna go there just yet.
He was already fly, but like we just came with like the perfect chemistry to be able to turn shit up the way we did. And so that was my very first day was working there. And so I had no car. I didn't know how I was getting home. Like, I had already told my homeboy who had dropped me off like at my first day of work, like, let's say I was working for like 1 to 6. But shit didn't really get jumping until about damn near like 7:30. Everybody had just started getting popping. I was like, well, you could go ahead and go. Like, go ahead.
I'll figure it out.
I'll figure it out. So who gave me a ride? Drew. Gave me a ride home my first day, which was Summer Jams with the Def Jam.
Come on.
And Rockefeller on the first fucking day of work.
Yeah.
And that happened. And I gave my number to Memphis Bleak. I was grown, right? Grown as hell. Gave my number to the nigga.
Yeah.
Tell me why. So I get home, so I finally get dropped off by Drew. It's like 11 o'clock at night, right?
Yeah.
Where did every single artist used to stay at back in the day when they would come to Detroit?
You tell me.
The Anthenium.
The Anthenium, okay.
At the Anthenium.
Yeah.
You remember caller IDs?
Yeah.
So I'm 17, right? Remember I'm in high school, right? I wasn't in college, right? So.
And making easy money calling you?
Man, so listen. So. There was the house phone, like my mama had the one phone up in her room, but it was a phone in the kitchen too, right? Yeah. I'm 17, remember I done got dropped back off, I done had a great day at the Summer Jams, I done got dropped off.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting because I know this nigga gonna call.
You know he calling.
The phone ring is damn near 12 o'clock. It's almost 12 o'clock.
Bleak.
I pick up the phone, but my mama done picked up the phone too, but I don't know if she done picked up the phone too, right? It's at the damn hotel on the damn caller ID, the little Ameritech box. Remember that shit?
Yes.
So I pick up the phone, I'm like, hello. He like, oh yeah, this Bleak, what's up? I'm like, oh hey, you know what's up? He like, yeah, we finna come and get you.
We about to come get you?
If I didn't have a car. Like, I was 17. We finna come and get you. Listen, the way my mama got on that phone.
Say shut all that down.
My mom was like, I don't give a goddamn who it is.
Yeah.
This ain't no hoe house. You ain't gonna be running up in here doing nothing.
Yeah.
Click. And that's how I met Memphis Bleak.
And that's how you met Memphis Bleak. Just like that. They say Memphis Bleak, he from the street. You know?
And I don't give a goddamn who it is. And my mama hung
shut
up
that
on this
down.
man.
But that's how the start of this whole musical journey, right? Or being within the industry.
That was my first day of work ever in life of anything that had to do with this industry.
And then you took it to Ferris, is that right?
So I went to Ferris State. Yep, I became, wow.
You didn't think your boy was looking. Your boy take this serious.
I went to Ferris State University. They had a radio station. They didn't know like what to do.
Yeah.
So I knew I had a little bit of experience working like at the station. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, but the internet had just started coming out, like Google and stuff.
Okay.
So yeah, I went to college. They dropped me off. As soon as they dropped me off, I had already spotted the radio station. I had already basically, nobody worked there. It was like dead air. So remember when y'all went, do y'all remember going to college, but the radio was a TV station, like on the cable station or whatever?
I went to school in the South, so I don't remember that being
a deal. It was like you could get the radio. You remember, camera, look, y'all can't see, but it's somebody behind that remembers that.
Super producer Q.
Period, shout out. Yeah. So you could get, so I just made myself the president, basically. I just turned in the paperwork, was like, I'm the president of the station, because nobody else worked there.
Right.
I didn't know how to DJ or nothing, but that's when I learned how to DJ, because I had to figure something out. Like I had to have a reason. Now I done got in here and I needed a purpose to be in there.
Right.
Also, we didn't have no music, so I just started calling different record labels. I called Bad Boy, was my first call, and a guy picked up the phone. His name was Sean Prez. I don't know if y'all have ever heard that man's name before. He picked up the phone. He was young in his years working there too. This is 2000. He was like managing a group of something called college reps. So they was like, hey, you in what, Midwest market? Okay, cool. You want to be a college rep? I'm like, shit, yeah. But I didn't know what a college rep was. They was like, we just finna send you this music every month from New York, and you got to come here every year for a conference, and we want all the college students. So like back, I was working for Bad Boy like instantly. I didn't even know like what happened. And they didn't even do nothing but send me promotional materials, and I probably got like a check like every month for like $250 or something.
But I work for Bad Boy.
You got a W-2 now. I'm able to claim this on my taxes, and I'm able to say like, no, you work here. It's such a huge difference in the access that you have when you are a person that have actually worked for these companies, or when you volunteer and you working with Pookie, who also was volunteering too.
Come on now.
You know what I mean? So it mattered. Like,
it mattered. They need to hear this, man.
It's
this
important.
Story is important.
And there are like it's so hard to get into those positions now. Like the scope of like the landscape has changed in terms of how like we do like grassroots marketing and things like that. But I would say like, I would never say working at a label is a bad look. Like, I would never say that, because it really started my career. Yeah,
but you had time at both radio stations here, right?
Yep. It was Radio 1 and iHeart, or Clear Channel.
Oh, Clear Channel or iHeart, right? And what was the work over at iHeart?
iHeart, I was account executive, so I was doing all of marketing plans for like all of our local small businesses. Okay. So when you talk about like learning analytics and what it takes to be able to develop a marketing plan, how to estimate your ROI, like how to actually like analyze the metrics that go along with how many impressions you get from a particular ad. Like why should a person choose you to, you know, invest these dollars into helping them to create their marketing plan? What are they actually going to receive on the back end? What is the return on that investment? So it was a really challenging job, but I stayed at it for like about 5 years, and it was truly a difference in knowing like the landscape, understanding the language, and how to speak, like how to talk to advertising agencies and things like that. And those skills just helped me to be able to be confident to offer that type of consultation in my business in the branding piece.
Come on now. Ooh, you got serious on me again. I love it. I love it.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Just a little.
So, but it was also some other record labels that you've had some time with, and I'm really just trying to make sure we get all of this out, because I'm going somewhere with this. But Sony, is that right?
Yep. So my first was Def Jam, which was an honor. And listen, if you are a person that loves music, if you are a person that loves hip hop, to have had the opportunity to work at Def Jam is top tier. Okay, I don't give a damn what year it was. Like, there is a selective few people
get that opportunity,
to have had that opportunity and to have worked at such a place of prestige and legacy in this community and in this hip hop culture. Like that was enough for me. And then actually a young lady by the name of Sabrina Underwood, I don't know if y'all know her, she came and got me. And that's who hired me at Sony BMG. And I worked there for years, and then I got hired at Clear Channel, which turned into iHeart while I was working there. And so that's been the journey.
That's the walk.
Yep. And then and the bad boy in between, working there in college. So and then I dropped out of college to go on the Usher's Confessions tour with Def Jam.
Whoa, I didn't get that story.
I dropped out to go. Me and Drew went to like 4 or 5 different cities.
Really?
Yep, I was his assistant. My mom and them let me go too. Like, they let me go. And it was one of the best experiences I've ever had in my entire life. It just really taught me so much about
that may go into a movie, dropping out of school for the Usher's Confessions tour. Especially after all this stuff Usher got ladies going on too now.
Yeah, that was so long ago, but
Okay, well we gotta take another break. But after that break, we're gonna go to our new phase of the Oh Yeah podcast, names and phrases.
Okay.
And we're gonna close this on out. So after the break here, okay?
All right.
All right, catch y'all on the other half. What up, though? It's your boy, Mr. Oh Yeah, Detroit's #1 ambassador. Coming to you today to send a big shout out to today's sponsor, Candidly Speaking greeting cards. If you ain't got you one, you should have been ordered it. Go to the website, Candidly Speaking greeting cards. It's the site where you see greeting cards that say happy birthday, happy Mother's Day, happy Valentine's Day, but it looked like us, for us. Go check them out and tell Toya I sent you. I'll let your boy. Oh yeah, welcome back to the Oh Yeah podcast with Mrs. Chauntel Nelson, CEO of Clever Curation Group. And we were just getting started with names and phrases. Now, this segment of the show, I'm just gonna shout out names or a particular phrase that has some level of association with you. And you just tell me what comes to your mind and to your heart in regards to these names or phrases, okay?
My armpits are sweating. Okay, guys.
No, it's cool. It's cool. You done mentioned some of these, all right? But let's keep it good. Spud.
105.9.
Come on.
The big homie. The Knackles. He'll know what that means.
The Knackles. Okay. We don't know. You don't care to share?
It's going to always be inside joint, but he'll know.
He'll know.
What else comes to mind? A big brother and a mentor at iHeart as well.
Okay.
In advertising.
Well, then we might as well go right into Drew. Drew Dada.
The GOAT, the Clarence Avant of Detroit.
Ooh.
Period. Am I lying?
Wow, you right.
And I'm not lying.
Yeah.
A boss. Period.
Now, because of the way you just presented that, I got to tell you what he said to me about you today.
Woo! I can't. Okay,
Drew Dada say, without a shadow of a doubt, he wouldn't be shit at Def Jam if it wasn't for you. No, I swear to you, I usually make my calls around to get little inside stories and all that other stuff. But when he said that, I said I got everything I needed. And I wanted to know, how does that make you feel to know? Because as you talked about the legacy, the history of Def Jam in itself, and the way you speak about him and his time here in the city of Detroit in hip hop, he said it wouldn't be nothing without y'all being able to work with one another and the things y'all were able to do during that time.
Man, that is. I didn't think I wouldn't even imagine him saying. He would never give me the satisfaction of saying that to me. Okay, but man, that's a lot to unpack and digest. I just have to say that, like, it really was something truly special. Like when we're back in the paint together now, but like when we were in the paint, like originally, like first of all, also he wasn't nice. Like it wasn't like he was like, hey, chummy. No, it was hard. Like it was like, forgive me for this because I despise of Donald Trump, but you remember the show like The Apprentice where like you're fired and like how like hardcore it was literally like working like for like Donald Trump on The Apprentice. Every day I was on eggshells about to be fired. Whole time he's like sitting back there like
He watching
getting it. Like, but I didn't know, like, those lessons, like the harsh, just the tones. Sometimes he would talk to me, I would be like, but it was to build up that character, to get like thicker skin, because I was super sensitive, like things that he know that I needed. I didn't know that he shielded me from like all the slime ass rappers that tried to get on over the years that I didn't even know, like he, you know what I mean? Things like that, like he sent opportunities my way specifically because of like the tenacity and like the resilience that I had, that I never gave up. So like, to hear him say something like that would be a dream come true for me.
Because LaRon is one of my best friends, my brother, since we were in high school. And of course, I remember that time of him and Drew working together, traveling the whole nine. So I know what you're talking about, right?
Yeah, it wasn't an easy
But
thing.
let me tell you the 2 words he said to describe you. He said it was because of your persistence and your consistency.
I was catching the bus. Okay, I didn't give a damn. I was going to whatever it was.
He said it was because of your being so persistent and your consistency. So I hope you take that with you. He did give me the story about you catching his ass on the telephone.
I don't give a fuck what you talking about. I'm coming. The thing is, I don't think it was so meant for us to like connect. You know what I mean? Like, you ain't finna, nope. You ain't finna leave. I'm working at this Def Jam, so I don't care what I gotta do, and you finna let me. So period. Like, and that's how it worked.
Well, you tapped into this a little earlier, but I want to give that space again. Angela Yee.
Yes. So I worked at iHeart. I told you that for some years. This is when the Breakfast Club first started. Like, the Breakfast Club was on for a long time before like before it got syndicated. You know what I mean? And so like I was already watching it online. Remember Karma Loop? Used to watch it was so it was like a sponsor that was sponsoring like all these different shows and stuff. And so like I would just be on their channel, and Breakfast Club stuff used to always come up. And so I would be watching, like, I never knew who Charlamagne was because I didn't really watch Wendy Williams then. Like, I wasn't in that market. I wasn't in, what was he from, North Carolina or Charlotte or something like that? Like, I didn't know. But I was watching the Breakfast Club, and I used to just be intrigued by all of the interviews. And so one day, I was watching the Breakfast Club at work, sitting at my desk at iHeart, watching it online. And Angela was like, I'm going to be making a documentary about women in hip-hop in Detroit. And I said, shit. Actually, I wasn't working at iHeart no more, excuse me. I was at my desk, just at my other job, watching it online. And I'm like, shit, no the fuck you ain't finna be making no damn documentary about women in hip-hop. I want to be a part of it. I was just willing to volunteer. So I reached out to everybody that I knew at iHeart, still like, hey, look in the company directory and find Angela Yee information. Of course it wasn't there. Like, it wasn't there. Luckily, here's about the relationships that you build. I connected with DJ Envy. Shout out to June Tycoon.
Come on, that's our guy.
Connected with DJ Envy's assistant a long time ago. This is while I was still working at iHeart. I hit him up. I said, hey, I don't know if you remember me or not, but I worked there, this and that. I don't work there no more, but I'm really trying to get in touch with her. That nigga gave me the number instantly.
Just like that.
Here you go. And I called, and when I tell you, like, she called me back on the day that was my manager at Sony BMG's funeral. He used to be my manager on that very day. One of the main people that used to encourage me, shout out to Joe Barrett, one of the main people that used to encourage me to like keep going. It was the day of his funeral that Angela called me back. I was at the repast. And he called me back. And the rest is history.
The rest is history. Well, again, shout out to June Tycoon, just talking to him today.
That's the
come on now, we looking for you this Saturday. We got DJ Envy pulling up with us, man. But that's what's up, man. Those times, relationships are everything.
And real genuine people that wanted me to win. Hey, you need something, baby girl? I got you. It was never like a gatekeeping situation. It was always an open arms. We want to see you win. And we know that you've been doing your thing in Detroit.
You touched on it earlier, but I feel like it's all, we've seen it across country, New York, we heard about it, but Summer Jams is pretty big here as well, right? So Summer Jams, what?
Yeah, so I'll tell you, that was my first event working. That was my introduction to the rock.
To the rock.
To the rock. That's what got me going. I thought I was a part of the rock, okay? I thought I was in Rockefeller.
Bingo.
I did, like that to the point where like you really in the club if you've heard the Rockefeller Freestyle Hot 97 Takeover. I still have that shit. Okay, if you don't have it, then we really can't even really be friends. But nonetheless, I say all that to say, like, the summer jams meant so much working those, like, year after year after year. You always had a chance to see all the other record reps, the label reps that were there, like, with different artists and stuff. And I just wish they would bring those days back. I wish that we could have, like, once the whole trick and the Rick Ross shit start happening with the no-fly zone and the weird hot had took over the summer jams and stuff like that, like, it just never really came back around like it should have. And I really wish we still could have that, because that was like a monumental, like, thing that we used to have in the city, and it meant something to some people that really cared about artists and
This is such a great transition, because the next phrase is something that I saw on your website: preserve the culture.
Yep.
Come on.
Hey, did you go to school for journalism or something? Like, what? Something had to have happened, but it's just something that it rings true to. Like, that is my genuine, like, daily quest and that came out of just the sheer desire of self-preservation alone. Like, to just start with, like, because I had to think and figure out, like, damn, how do I still stay true to me, like, who I really am as a person, while trying to navigate this space? Because, like, I don't want to get a BBL, or, like, I don't want to
I didn't think you were going there with it.
Nah, facts. I'm saying, like, certain things I don't want to do, but I want to keep that level of self-preservation there so that I can always be energized and recharged and able to pour into others the same way, you know, to give them what I didn't get, to show them what you can actually do in this industry, and to try and, you know, just create some sort of synergy with people that actually enjoyed the same thing as me. So when I talk about that as self-preservation, that's what drew me to, like, nah, we need to preserve the culture. Because the way that we created our music, the way that we distributed our music over the years, the way that we've been able to intertwine it in, like, all things that matter, sports, television, just so many, like, mainstream media ways that we've been able to incorporate hip-hop music. And I'm not just talking about, like, all genres. I'm talking about hip-hop specifically. It's monumental, and I always want to be a part of pushing that forward as much as I can. So,
that's what's up. Now, generally, we have a journey moment in the podcast where we see this transition, right, into where it really defines who this individual is. But I kind of waited for that moment, because you were also recognized for your work, and something I would look at as one of the most historical publications here, the Michigan Chronicle, right? Which is going to lead me to my last name. But I just want you to talk about that, just being honored, and you, what most would consider a loss from not being honored at 4040, but being able to be recognized for this walk, this journey, your work, these relationships. Let's talk about that.
That was a proud moment. So I'm always the underdog, like, in everything that I do, like, everything. And, you know, I really wanted to win. I had people like Angela Yee. I had Bill Black, like, he was the PD of iHeart at the time. I had, you know, just great people that nominated me. And then I didn't fucking win.
You didn't get it.
I was like, what do you mean I don't get to be a part of the 40 club?
Right,
I was already planning on, like, having my... I already knew what I was finna be doing. Because remember, I'm a part of the rock. Like, I already thought. I was having my shit at the 40 club. I was at the 40 under 40. I already knew what I was doing. No, ma'am. Like, no, sorry, we didn't pick you. But there's a gentleman by the name of Hiram Jackson.
That's right. That's right. Old Hiram. Shout out.
He had, and I've never actually met him in person.
Oh, really?
In real life.
Okay.
He actually, I don't know how this happened, but I got a voicemail that said, hey, it was his assistant at the time, like, hey, we know you didn't win, but we want to talk to just you.
Yeah.
Can you come back?
Yeah.
Can we do an article on you?
Yeah.
And I'm like, so you want to do an article on a girl that lost? And when I tell you, it was one of the most rewarding things, because it was like, nah, we spinning the block because your story needs to be told individually in a way that is not, it wasn't mixed in with like a group of like amazing dynamic people for sure, like of course. It was really like, nah, this is for you. We want to highlight you specifically. We want to show people that there is a level of resilience that you have to have in order to keep going.
Come on.
And there are people that are actually out here still. You know how many no's?
That's right.
You know how many times I've lost? Like, shit, I wanted to cry when I looked and I seen like, damn, that motherfucker not even as fly as me. I thought. But it wasn't your time, sis. It wasn't that wasn't for you. What was for you was your own situation. So it's always been like that.
It's always been like that.
Yeah.
Well, it's something else we did not recognize, and I feel like it's very important. Your wife.
Yes.
As well as mother.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So the last name, well, to be able to do all of these things and still be wife and mother in a male-dominated field, I think is truly admirable and something that needs to be acknowledged. But I got to bring this last name to the equation. Eric?
Yep. That's my little person. He is kind of like a mini me, believe it or not. You know, my kid actually, and I never taught him this, do you know he has known Slick Rick's children's story back to back? He can recite it since he was like 8 years old. He just took a liking to hip hop. He's a DJ now, a kid DJ, believe it or not. Like, I actually have a kid. I raised up a child that is a whole DJ randomly.
Come on.
It's crazy. But yeah, he's my pride and joy. He's my baby. 13 now, going to the 8th grade. And yeah, he don't want to be bothered with mom probably right now. He's at football right now. I'm Mother of the Year. I took him to I took him to an event. I was speaking on a panel at the Pistons practice facility the other day. And he didn't care about shit about mom, like talking on the panel. I was able to meet Skilla Baby.
Skilla Baby.
So I'm Mother of the Year now because
you
I was able to help him to meet Skilla Baby.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yes.
It ain't easy.
All of my accomplishments, there's nothing.
Come on now.
It was like Skilla
and that was
Baby.
A part of that. I'm sorry that was a part to be brought up.
No, I'm just joking.
On that panel at Detroit Pistons. But this is where I have to ask the question. Recognizing your space that you're in right now with, I'm sure, so many more things that you want to do and looking to accomplish. We didn't even get to Hype Teen and your work there, you know, but how does it feel to when you at home and you sitting down and you put your feet up and you look at Eric? What does that look like, though, right? Always working, right?
I don't get to sit down.
But these are the times where I say we document our affairs, where you really got to understand that it's okay to get a little pat on the back and acknowledgement and seeing that you're an example out here, right?
I didn't know. I had no clue. I was just trying to make some money.
You're just trying to make some money.
Figure out something and just like be significant at what I do and just be good at what I do and treat people good and be a blessing to people every day.
Come on.
I don't know nothing else. Like, I don't even know how else to identify it.
Well, we're glad that you're here.
Thank you.
If you wouldn't be doing it, who else would be doing it?
If not me, then who?
Boo! We heard that on one of our last episodes.
It's true. It's true. You really have to think that way.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you really have to think. It's
understanding
not a
your
thing
purpose.
Of arrogance or anything like that. It's not really like, I'm only saying this because I was about to give up my business 2 days ago. Okay? I'm just trying to figure out how to stay afloat. So I'm just saying, like, people need to have those self-affirmations. That's that self-preservation.
That's right.
That comes into play. And that's the internal desire that you have to have for you that you can't buy and that no one can give to you.
Come on now. It's true. That's a bar.
Facts.
Facts. Please let them know what else we can expect and where they can find you. You know, and if they're looking to have an event curated with your stamp, you know, please let the people know. So,
I would say this is probably my biggest project coming up. I'm super excited about it. I can't say a lot of details yet.
Okay.
But picture a performance platform. It's giving MTV Unplugged meets Tiny Desk, but make it Detroit.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's what's up. That's what's coming, and so I'm excited to
I hope we get the exclusive when you're ready to announce it. Come back to the Oh Yeah podcast.
I will be inviting you
to
come. You can get some live coverage of that event. And I think you're going to thank me later, everybody.
Okay. Thank her later. That's right.
But yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. And you can always check out my Instagram at Chauntel the One or at Clever Curation Group. I always put the information up there, like any events and things like that that's coming up. So I appreciate you for having me again. Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming. And please, again, continue documenting your affairs, man. We really appreciate you being from Detroit, putting in this work, understanding the relationships are everything, and not just letting them, spill over, man. I now feel, again, encouraged. Yeah, I know her. I know her work. I see what she's doing, and that feels good. And I know I can refer somebody to Mrs. Chauntel Nelson.
Thank you so much.
Thank you again for coming, and please again let this be another home for you. Okay?
Will do.
Thank you again, good people, for joining in on the Oh Yeah podcast. Another great episode with another great Detroiter putting in good work. We ask that you, of course, like, share, subscribe, tell a friend about what we're doing. And don't forget to check us out Mondays at Good Vibes for Do Say Mondays. Don't forget to check us out Wednesdays here at Flood's Bar and Grill. We're on the patio right now. And again, DJ Envy checking us out this Saturday, man. So all those things are good. Oh, and please don't forget, next week, Friday, we got our host, our DJ Cuts. His birthday that we're celebrating at the Garden Theater, the Block. So please get your tickets. They're going fast, man. But thank you. Oh Yeah podcast. Document your affairs. Mr. Oh Yeah, Detroit's #1 ambassador.